Okay, so today I want to talk about why I am always idolizing any romantic relationship that I've ever had. I've never had a romantic relationship where I didn't really idolize my partner, and I think that I always idolize my partner because I am not satisfied with with the actual standards that we have as society when it comes to romantic relationship. Now we have to accept situationships. We have to accept the dating phase. We have to accept people using us for our bodies just because they tell us that they are a certain person when they actually are not. But because they pretend to be a certain person, we give them our bodies, our time, actually our whole person, right? And we have to accept that because it's actually become the norm, which is really sad. Um, because it actually ruins the dynamic of being in a relationship with somebody. It ruins the dynamic of people really getting to know each other to form a couple or whatever you want to but to have a sincere relationship, an honest relationship, and a profound relationship. Nowadays, we have to accept cheating. We have to accept micro cheating, which is for me guys liking pictures of other girls on Instagram, on TikTok, or whatever. Guys sliding into stories, like responding to another girl's story, or even being on social media and always having girls on their feeds, but they will tell you that I'm not following them, so I cannot be held responsible. We have to accept lack of communication. We have to accept lack of consistency, lack of consideration, lack of personality. Because today, when you're talking to someone, I think that you have to, I don't know, look for a treasure to be like, for them to show you their personality, because they're gonna act a certain way. Like, for example, they're gonna be nonchalant, they're not gonna show any emotion, they don't even want to compliment you on your looks anymore, they don't even compliment you on how you think anymore, they do not want to do anything, they just want to get your body. And if you show a little bit of resistance, they're gonna act like somebody they're not to get what they actually want, which is your body. I have to generalize because it's the point of the video, but I know that not every boy or not every girl is like that. I just have to make my statement. I have to be objective and look at society in a global way. And because the standards are that low, and because we are used to accept them and not really question them, and even if we do go back to people who act this way because we do not have any choice, or maybe because we lack consideration for ourselves, we lack self-love, and we go back to what actually destroys us. But that's not the point of the video. Maybe it will be the point of another. Let me know if you want to. But because the standards are so low, I think in both romantic relationships, but also in friendships. But right now I'm talking about romantic relationships. Because the standards are so low, I always find myself idolizing. Oh, what would a healthy relationship be with that guy if he acted that way? Oh, I wish he gave me flowers, and I would actually like build another relationship in my head and think that this relationship could happen one day. That's why I have to stay in the real relationship, which deserves me, which is not giving me anything. And I always end up being hurt because I cannot make the difference between the version of the relationship that I imagined in my head and the relationship that's actually happening in real life. But now that I kind of figured it out, I feel like idolizing your partner is actually a sign of the fact that you're not happy with them. Because when you're idolizing your partner, you're actually imagining that your partner would be another person inherently. You're actually wishing for them to be another person. So I think like idolizing your partner is really a sign that you are not satisfied with what your partner brings to you and what he's trying to do. And if you are in a real relationship and you find yourself idolizing your partner, I think it's also a sign of a lack of communication. Maybe you're not telling your partner what you actually want from them, and therefore you're feeling mistreated or neglected emotionally, and therefore you find yourself idolizing your partner. Oh, I wish he did that for me. I wish he did that for a relationship. Also, what you have to take in consideration is that social media really pushes a certain type of relationship on us. Now, if you want your relationship to be deemed as a good relationship, your partner has to give you flowers every day. He has to give you presents every day. He has to bring you food every day. He has to whatever, and it's always materialistic stuff. It's never about how your partner really treats you, which is another topic, but it's always you have to really be attentive to that, because a relationship is not about is not an exchange of like financial values. I don't know how to put that out, but I think you understood me. A relationship is not supposed to be a exchange of money, of presence. It's supposed to be an exchange of energies, of personalities, it's supposed to be way deeper than just you offering flowers to your girlfriend, which is a really great stuff. It's really romantic. You should do that. But what social media is showing us is that the most important thing of the relationship is first the image. So everybody has to think that you have a good relationship for you to think that your relationship is a good one. Second is a materialistic way of viewing things. If your boyfriend does not bring you out to eat, and if your boyfriend brings you out to eat and he doesn't pay all of the addition, there's a problem. You should not be with that guy. If your boyfriend does not bring you flowers every 2-3 days, he's not a great boyfriend. If he doesn't do that, he's not a please. It's just a series of unattainable standards, and people are getting indoctrinated by this, and they're actually forgetting that a relationship is supposed to bring you good energies from within. The sole purpose of a relationship is to make you feel better. Emphasis on the word feel and not the word money, presents, flowers, paying all of the addition. I want my boyfriend to pay the additions, but I'm not gonna stay with someone just because he pays additions and because I can snap the restaurant that we're at on Snapchat. That's just not my way of seeing relationships. But whatever. And that's actually why people are not satisfied with their partner, and that's why they keep idolizing their partners, and that's also why people keep breaking up for no reasons, because they compare their relationship to an attainable standard that is being pushed out by social media, and because it's not really matching the standard, they will think that the relationship is not great, even if that person makes them feel really better, even if that person is being considerate for their emotions, even if that person makes time to see them, even if it's not at a fancy restaurant. That does not matter. Like seeing your boyfriend whether it be in a fancy restaurant or at your house or at McDonald's. What does it change actually? Nothing. That's just the pressure that the society pushes on you to like be deemed acceptable and to be deemed valuable, which you have to detach yourself from if you want to really experience a real relationship, a loving relationship. Because a loving relationship is never perfect. You will never find someone that brings you flowers every 2 days, brings you out to eat every weekend, loves you properly, meaning listens to you, considers your emotions, is there for you, is loving, whatever, everything, and he pays all the bills, and he brings you to vacation every month. That does not happen. It's just because we're humans. Nobody's perfect. Therefore, any romantic relationship is gonna be perfect. But that's why we have to focus on what the relationship brings to us as people, and not in financial means or presence, whatever. And also, because you think that your relationship is not meeting the standard, you're gonna idolize your partner, and you're gonna wish that there's somebody else. And that's why couples don't really last anymore, because we are in constant comparison with other people, and we're never happy with what we have, because we always want more. We always want more money, and we always want a better partner. But sometimes there's no better partner. Sometimes there's no better partner. You have to be satisfied with the person that loves you and who is there for you. And that's not settling. That's just realizing that even if there are more fishes in the sea, maybe there are no better fishes in the sea. And if there are better fishes in the sea, sometimes they don't want you, you know? But coming back to my subject, for me, I think I was idolizing my partner, not because I wanted to meet a certain standard of romantic relationship, but just because I was actually dating assholes. So there are two kinds of idolization. There is the idolization that comes from the pressure that society puts on you, and there's the idolization that comes from the fact you're just dating an asshole and you need to get out of here. Okay? And most of the time is the second one. You need to get out of here. So for my girls out there, if you have standards and you constantly find yourself idolizing your partner, please focus on the real relationship, and you'll see that the real relationship is shitty. And that's why you're idolizing your partner, because you want to be with somebody else. In the facts. Like, maybe he looks good or whatever, but you want to be with somebody else. That's why you need to go. Okay?